Well, Rocky, this Rocky Marciano welcome dinner on November 7th at the Bayfront Park Auditorium ought to be quite an affair, shouldn't it?
We sure hope so, Jack. I'm very happy to have this honor, and we all should have a lot of fun.
I think you'll have a lot of fun, too, Rocky, and of course the money that's taken there is going to some very worthy causes, too, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Jack. The Boys Town of Italy and the Variety Children's Hospital both will benefit by it, and I'm sure happy about it.
Well, Rocky, I think one of the most interesting parts of the dinner, I imagine, will be the showing of the highlights of some of your fights.
Yes, Jack, we have quite a bit to show there. Some of my best fights, and I'll be quite happy to see them again myself.
I know one of them is going to be the Ezzard Charles fight, and of course, Rocky, you've told us on many occasions that you thought the toughest fight that you've ever had was the first Walcott fight.
Yes, it was. It was the toughest fight, Jack, because he not only had me on the floor, but he was winning that fight going into the late rounds. And he was just a great fighter that night.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, at that time, he was the champion, and you were trying to get the title. That makes it a little different, too, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Rocky, of course, you've had some other great fights as well as that one. Would you say that some of your fights, we'll say, with Charles and Archie Moore were some of your outstanding ones?
Yes. I believe the first fight with Charles was just a rough fight for both. He was extra good that night, and he gave me a rough, tough fight. I had to go all out in the 15th round, and I thought that in that last round I might have been able to put him down, but he stood up and made a great fight of it.
Well, you know, Rocky, I've often wondered about fighters. Of course, when you fought Cockell, everybody thought, well, Cockell was going to be a pushover, but I noticed that you had a little bit of trouble with him, too. And I think anybody who trains for a championship fight and gets in good shape can give you a little bit of trouble, can't they?
Yes, they can. They're prepared for it. They plan for the fight, spend between 2 to 3 months in a training camp, just studying your moves and the fight films, and well, they're in there to try to win that title. And Cockell had a peculiar style that was very difficult for me. He had the short arms, and he had a sort of a little crouch, smaller than me, and he had very quick hands. Although they didn't hurt when he hit me, he had he annoyed me with the punches, and it made for a good fight.
Mm-hmm. Rocky, I know there's going to be a lot of celebrities at the dinner. What about some of the sports personalities who are going to be there?
I haven't heard too much about that, Jack. I do know that DiMaggio is going to try to make it down here, and along with Teddy Williams. I sure hope both of them get down here, as they were my idols in baseball.
I think another fellow that's going to try to make it, too, is the new middleweight champion, isn't it?
Carmen Basilio, yes. I'd sure like to see him down here. He has a lot of fans down here.
And speaking about Carmen Basilio, Rocky, there's a possibility of Basilio fighting Robinson here at the Orange Bowl in, say, January, February. Do you think a big championship fight would draw here in Miami in the wintertime?
Yes, I do. I think it would be a great success. I think that it would draw. I know there's many, many fight fans here in Miami. They've never really had a real great fight down here, and I think that fight would be a huge success.
Fine. Well, Rocky, it's nice to have talked to you today, and I know that an awful lot of people are going to turn out for that Rocky Marciano dinner, November 7th at the Bayfront Park Auditorium, and we'll have a wonderful time of it. We'll see you there.
Thank you, Jack.
Right, Rocky.